Today I'll break down the easiest yet most effective way to solo carry your games on a medium class. An absolute first thing you need to do is to join the competitive Discord and find yourself long-term duo, because no matter how good of a player you are, there is no ranked based matchmaking in this game. It means that you will be queued up in a team with bronze players and silver players. You won't be able to communicate with them, you won't be able to carry them, as this game is very heavily team-oriented. Do that, find yourself a team, it will change your life. After 3 of you are in Discord, it's very important to speak about compositions beforehand. I understand that there are personal preferences, some people like to play light, God bless, like you can delete them, block them, these players don't deserve your attention. So 2 good compositions that you can run are going to be heavy medium or heavy medium medium. I would say that double heavy medium is superior due to the fact that you can double C4 cringe, RPG, you can double shield, double bubble, and the game is very close quarter oriented, means that shotgun is gonna be always better than an AK or a SCAR. When it comes to your team composition builds, I would suggest your heavy players to go for double shotgun. I would suggest them to go for shields, bubbles, C4s, and an RPG. This is gonna give them insane point presence, ability to defend you, ability to create space, ability to inflict insane amounts of burst damage, and be useful. When it comes to your composition build, I would say that Recon senses are far superior than Healing Beam, because if you are playing in a double heavy medium composition, realistically you won't be able to out-heal burst damage if your heavies are throwing, and if they are not throwing, they kinda don't need your help that much and would rather have you at an off angle or on a high ground poking enemies from safe distance. Because in double heavy medium composition, the worst thing that can happen to your team is you dying on medium. You won't be able to use your Difibrillator, you won't be able to activate your heavies with movement, with ziplines and jump pads, and overall it's just such a waste. Recon senses will allow you to see enemies before they approach you, and you will get better positioning, you will get better timings on them, and you can actually surprise them. And there were so many occasions where they absolutely won me the game. And now let me yap about a few details when it comes to your weapon choices. For heavies, there are maps with longer sights where you won't be able to utilize the shotgun that much. For example, Skyway Stadium, some game modes, Seoul, some game modes, and perhaps suspended structures on Monaco, and maybe duck and cover, where you are sort of playing in the open. Outside of that, both of your heavy should run double shotgun, as again it's all very clumped up and the spaces are very narrow. There is no way for you to poke enemies, as they are literally inside the houses, inside the buildings. So of course shotguns are gonna be superior than a Lewis gun in that regard. When it comes to your weapon of choice, this is gonna be very interesting, and a lot of people don't understand the difference between AK and a SCAR. In this video you will see me play with model 1887 a lot, but that's a troll, don't look at me. So you have only 2 options, AK and a SCAR. If you are playing medium as a mercy pocket with the healing beam, you want to have AK. This is very simple. AK is amazing because you can apply sustained pressure to your enemies every single second of the fight. You can shoot, switch to a healing beam, heal, switch to AK, shoot, switch to a healing beam, maybe res, and shoot more. With SCAR, you kind of realize that there are not enough bullets for you to apply constant pressure, and people will actually outburst you, simply because you have so much downtime between you shooting and you reloading. Hopefully that answers the question. When you are playing with Recon senses, it's perfectly fine to play SCAR, because you are going to be at an off angle. You are gonna flank enemies and you're gonna see their backs. It's more often than not, you will be mirroring the enemy light. It means that you want to have a better duels, right? But with the Mercy Pocket playstyle, you are not dueling anyone, you are a shadow to your light, which is a heavy player. That sounded very strange, but that's just the way it is. So if you have Healing Beam, go for an AK. If you have Recon senses but still play with the team, go for AK. But if you are ready to off angle, if you are ready to go for some extravagant playstyle where they are drawing all the attention on themselves and acting as a fish bait, you will be able to see so much success with the FCAR, especially if you are good at aiming. When it comes to your utility choices, this is also very important, and people don't quite understand whether they should go for a gas mine, an APS turret, maybe an explosive mine, maybe something else. And it's all very tricky, but at the end of the day, Zipline and jump pad are just superior, because fundamentally, let's think about where you want to be. You want to be on a high ground, right? This is fundamentally just correct. Every single time you are playing the game, it's better to be on high ground than not to be on high ground, with a few exceptions, of course. But not only that, but you need to quickly rotate between cash outs. And who told you that you will be able to always defend the cash out, right? This is the problem with APS turrets and gas mines. Who told you that you are always going to be defending the cash out? How many times have you been third-partied and griefed on a vault just to realize that two teams cashed out because they were lucky enough, not because they were like fighting for it to the death like you did, right? The gas mines are going to be useless. They are useless as you won't be able to move your heavy players and enable them with movement. And overall, it's just incredibly easy to play around them. It's not rocket science. You'll be easily able to outvalue your gas mines with a zipline. A perfectly placed zipline, and then you recon sense someone. Holy, this alone will win you games. And Difibrillator is a must. If you are not running Difibrillator, it's a sign of serious skill issue. I already touched a little bit on the general playstyle when it comes to heavy medium or medium heavy composition. I actually didn't speak about the medium heavy utility composition. You can run Recon Senses with FCAR, and then a second medium can run Mercy Pocket, because I feel like double Recon Senses is kind of a throw in the team, as you really want to support your heavy with that. When we talk about playstyle in double heavy medium composition, it's really important to off angle. It's really important to let your heavies take all the fire onto them, just to shoot enemies that are reloading, just to shoot enemies that are not looking at you, just to shoot enemies that are out of position because they thought they would be able to push double heavy composition. Your double heavies are gonna clench enemies and make them very uncomfortable. They would have to hold their distance, and you will not always be able to be in a good position to hold the distance, if you know what I'm saying. Just like your heavies are striking from the front and you are going from the side, completely dismantling everyone that you see in range. When we talk about the medium heavy composition, of course you need to play like a 2+1, right? You need to have your medium with healing beam and a heavy hold hands together while you are flanking, while you are being annoying on the side. It's very important in this game not to die for nothing, as I see a lot of teams just fully commit when they should never do that, and they lose games for themselves for absolute no freaking reason. I see that every single time. So when you are flanking, you always have the option to sell your teammates and just leave, wait for them to coin, or wait for enemies to go away just to get back and res your teammates. And you can absolutely do that with Recon Senses, because you understand that there is no one camping your bodies. Another very interesting strategy that you can go for Recon Senses that you can't go without is that you can camp the cash outs. It's really interesting because sometimes you lose the fight for the vault, and the best thing you can do is to sit around the cash out like little rats, 3 of you, and then you call where enemies are, and then you just absolutely 3-1 everyone that gets close, because people never expect that from you. Like, I have never been killed by team just completely sitting silent on a cash out, so it's gonna be very nice to surprise your enemies like this. That was it for today's video. If you found it useful, leave a like, subscribe for the algorithm, and send it to your friend that's throwing games for you by playing like an idiot. See you in the next one. Take care.